All right, welcome back to Afternoon Drive. My name is Drew Moholland. Hope you're all having a good Tuesday, Super Tuesday here in Massachusetts. It's sunny. It's nice out. Things are good. Feels like spring out there. So hope everybody's having a good day. We got some great guests in the house. They're already here. We'll get to them in just one second. The Newburyport Clippers basketball team. There's your little hint. After winding down another great season, we are here at actually, for those of you who don't know, our studios are right outside the community center, the senior center. And so there's voting going on out there. We got the signs as we drive in. Always kind of a fun day. So that's all good. Really, that's kind of the story of the day is the Super Tuesday thing. Coronavirus, too. That seems to be the other big story. I should also mention, for those of you who are looking at me saying, Drew, it looks like you've been hit in the nose. Yes, this is true. I have been hit in the nose. Basketball injury. Took an elbow. Clean defense by me. My team tells me we ended up getting the win over in Beverly there at the gym. So very big news. There you go, for all of you wondering what that is. A good day to mention that because I got the Newburyport Clippers basketball guys in the house. Hey, boys, how are you? There you go. Good to see you guys. Pass the mic. Why don't we introduce ourselves here? I think all of you have been on before, but go ahead. Say hello, say your name, wave to everybody, all that good stuff.
Hi, I'm Parker McLaren, and I'm a senior.
You don't introduce yourself as, a 1,000-point scorer now, or that's not how you do it?
No, still Parker.
Still Parker, okay.
I'm Jacob Robertson. I'm a junior.
Junior, all right.
I'm Trevor Ward, and I'm a junior.
Trevor, how are you? And a familiar face back there.
Yeah, I'm Coach Dave Clay.
Coach, how we doing?
Good, how are you?
What a group you had this year. What a fun ride, huh?
Yeah, it was awesome.
There you go. You guys ended the other night. I remember Bill Belichick always says the seasons always come to it's almost like a plane crash. It just ends. There's no easy way to end a season like that. And I'm sure that's the feeling you guys have kind of gone through. But what was the season like for you guys? You want the boys to answer that? Go ahead, Trevor. You got it. You're closest.
It was a great season. I think better than last year, just with the group of guys and how we all gelled together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacob.
Yeah, I think playing-wise, we started off a little rough, 2-3, but then we really gelled as a group and got better together.
Yep.
And started playing well.
Parker, a huge year from you.
Thank you. We really came together as a team. Like Trevor said, we had a pretty rough start, and then we picked it up and ended up winning our second back-to-back Cape Ann League championship. So
that was sweet. You guys got a little revenge too in the tournament, right? You got that win over Drakehead after kind of tough beat last year.
That was pretty fun. Yeah.
Did I hear that? I believe your athletic director Kyle Hodson told me that during intros they reenacted the shot from last year, which he said all of you guys took notice of or something.
Yeah.
Explain that one to me, please.
I think it was right when they first walked in the gym. They went right to the spot where they hit the shot, and then sort of reenacted it and then celebrated.
Not that you took notice or anything. That what do they call that? Bulletin board material? Is that about right?
Yep.
Not that you needed more fire for that game, but were you there's no way we're losing this game now?
Yeah, I think one of our assistant coaches told us that. I think we were in the locker room when they did that, but he told us what they did, and then
a little ammo.
Yeah.
That's funny. Jacob, what was that? You were on that. You guys were all the players on that team last year, but that must have been kind of one of the sweeter wins I would think of the season, right?
Yeah, definitely. Last year kind of killed us, and that's what we worked for all off season is to play them.
Did you guys get down in that game again too? I think second half deficit, right? You had to battle back a little bit.
Yeah, we were down. We were losing by 6 in the after the first half, something like that.
That must have been a little bit of a test of character, huh?
Yeah. Felt like the year before.
Felt like the year before, yeah. That's and you guys were Trevor. You guys were the higher seed in that game, but it was that was kind of they weren't they a 14 seed, but not really a 14 seed because
they didn't really seem like a 14 seed.
Yeah, isn't it? It's because it's different, all about the conferences, right?
Yeah. The way that it's set up is kind of weird, just because some leagues are just a little bit stronger than others, but
safe to say you guys weren't underestimating them, though, just because of the seed numbers, right?
No, I don't think so.
Coach, how about the? I know you guys. What are the storylines? I mean, obviously everybody knows you made a good run. What do we not know? What was it about this group that maybe even surprised you a little bit?
Who they are? It didn't surprise me who they are as people, but
yeah,
it was probably the most intelligent group I've ever coached.
Is that right?
As far as classroom class, like they were taking high end classes, so a lot of them took honors or AP classes.
Yep.
And just a terrific group. I mean, I learned that Parker's phenomenal at karaoke. He sings a good tune.
Really?
Yep.
Are we going to dive into that a little bit today or not?
That's up to him. I don't know.
There'll be no singing. That's funny.
And just how they move the ball.
Yeah.
You know, this team, better than any other team I've been able to coach, has moved the ball exceptionally well, and there was no egos.
No
it was
egos.
nice.
And so it's a smart team. So you're telling me there was no coach frustration at all this year from mental mistakes then, right?
No. I'm sure there were a few, yeah. But
Yeah, I know you're lying. No, I don't think any coach has ever said that in the history of basketball. So this is it's always going to be. So you're a senior,
Yeah.
and senior.
Junior.
Oh, so you two are both back. That's a little bit scary. Let's go to the senior then for a second, Parker. Let's talk about that night. I saw you got the 1,000th point on a free throw, I believe, right?
Yeah, it was on a free throw.
And I have it on good authority that you didn't really want to stop the game, but all the people that wanted to handle it the right way were making sure they did, including your coach, which was kind of a cool moment.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was nice to stop the game and have a little celebration, but I think that was like a really like we were starting to come back in the game, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a nice moment. For sure.
What's the I mean, when did you is that something that you like envisioned as a freshman? Everybody knows your brother was a star here, obviously, and I mean, that must have been kind of weird for you coming up behind him, and like, you know, he got there. And when did he get there?
I think it was early, probably the first few games of the year last year.
He got it out of the way early. You made it a little more dramatic, I see.
Yeah.
But that must have been I mean, did you ever think, like, are you there as a freshman going, you know what, I could do that?
I never really imagined it or was shooting for it, but it just I guess, like, as time went on, it just became more and more of a possibility. So once it was right there, it was.
Did Big Bro give you any advice on how to handle that?
Not really.
No.
I can't remember. He congratulated me. And
well,
stuff
that
like
was nice of him.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Casey. That's fantastic. So I was watching the video of it. You kind of treated it like no big deal, but I'm sure at some point it sunk in. Like, that's a pretty cool achievement that not many people get to.
Yeah, I just tried not to make the whole like game about it. That's what anyone else.
You would have been
told
fine
me.
to do it. It's 1,000 points. It's fun.
Yeah. Just don't focus on it. Just focus on winning the game, and it'll come.
Good advice, Jacob. What was that like watching that?
That was really cool, and it's gonna be tough next year not having him on the floor.
Oh yeah, I would think you'd probably want him back. Yeah, that's good.
filling those over 20 points a game. Yeah.
Trevor, watching that all go down.
Yeah, it was surreal. I'm happy he was able to do it.
Yeah.
You know, teammate, actually 2 teammates. So.
Yeah, and you got it done in the regular season, which was nice too. You didn't have to take it into the tournament, but you guys kind of and at any point are you like, you know what, let's get him the ball so we can kind of get this out of the way? Is that at all play into the thought process, or?
Oh, he just kind of did his thing, and it just ended up happening. Yeah.
I mean, that's a memory that you guys have. People that play with people like that too, they're like, we'll never forget that one. That's one of those check marks on the year, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Who got the? No, you did from the free throw line. Big man from the free throw line. That's pretty cool too.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's have you always been a decent free throw shooter? Microphone.
Yeah.
I feel like I've always been pretty good. Sometimes, some games it's just not there. It gets in my head, but I mean, I feel like I've been pretty consistent.
There you go. Coach Clay, what was that? I know you guys had some talks about how to handle that. How many times have you had to deal with that? Is that Casey, obviously?
Yeah. So I had, before I left Triton, there was a kid on track, 4,000, and he ended up getting it his senior year. And then, we had it with Casey last year. And then Parker was so nonchalant about it. He just...
Even here. Oh, who's calling? We have people interested here in the conversation, boys. Sorry about that. Carry on.
He, I'd bring it up with him. He wouldn't really bring it up with me.
Yeah.
And we just talk about, just keep on doing what you're doing. And he was, and that's exactly what he did. I was telling someone else, I can never remember a moment throughout our season where you were like, wow, he's trying to get his. Everything was within the flow of the offense, which is so ideal. And I think what even makes it more special is that he did it in 3 years. He never played I know he played his freshman year a little bit on varsity, but never really scored any. And what was it? Oh yeah, and for 2 years, all the plays went for his brother.
Yeah.
You know, so he just kind of cleaned up offensive rebounds and put him back, and then
Your brother really was pretty selfish. You would have got there a lot sooner if it was.
I mean, so this I got to brag about him for a little bit because he won't. So this season alone,
I know.
he scored 503 points his senior year,
500,
which is the second most points in one season in Newburyport history.
wow.
So the highest was 508.
By who?
Angelo Jr. Dagris.
Wow, look at that.
He graduated in like 54 maybe or 55.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
So that's a take that one with you. That is actually almost more impressive.
It
than,
really is.
I mean, longevity, I guess, with the 1,000, but wow, that is impressive.
Yeah.
Well, good for you, man. That's yeah. What else do you get? You get like a banner for that or something, or names on the something? What do you get for that? You must get more than that bouquet of flowers.
He gets a hug.
A hug. I'm demanding
A
more
high
than
five.
demanding more than all that, Coach.
We I actually meant to pick it up today because I saw it, but in the athletic director's office is the game ball from the game that we got inscripted on it, like the date in the game that he scored his 1,000th
See,
point.
now that's what we're talking about. I like that sort of stuff. Very good. Well, congratulations, Parker. That's a unbelievable achievement. I wasn't at the game, but I saw the I saw the free throw on the recording. It looked like a cool moment. So very good. What was kind of the theme of the Newburyport Clippers basketball squad this year? Trevor, let's start with you. What was like the?
Yeah,
You remember it?
Yeah.
You don't remember
Oh,
it?
there's actually a theme.
Oh, yeah, we have one every year.
Okay.
Right? So
Gotcha.
last year was the game honors toughness.
Okay.
So, you know,
Yep.
the tougher team's going to win. And this year was fate whispered to the warrior, you cannot withstand the storm.
Whoa.
And the warrior whispered back, I am the storm.
Okay.
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's. Would you have got that right, Trevor? If,
Yeah, that's actually the one I was thinking.
It's ingrained in your head now.
Yeah, just kind of like our defense, like being and like our pressure, full court pressure was like our storm.
I think I've had you guys. I think I've known Coach Clay here for. I think we've had him on for the last like 3 years pretty regularly, and every one of his guys comes in and says defense and pressure every time we come in. So that is kind of becoming a Newburyport basketball identity.
Yeah, it's definitely our thing.
Definitely your thing.
Hustle, toughness.
Hustle, toughness. Yeah. How about you, Jacob?
Yeah, I think like another like motto we had was like pound the rock. Just like keep going at it, no matter how many like tries it takes, it'll click eventually.
Yeah. What? I mean, you guys have a lot of great shooters this year, or were you more of a coach like
yeah,
that one? Good for you.
The good thing for us was like we're all shooters,
Yeah.
so it spread the court out a lot.
Are they all shooters, Coach, or they all just think they're shooters?
Yes. They all shoot.
They all shoot.
They shoot exceptionally well. Some I wish shot more.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Ah,
But,
Trevor,
he
you
has
need a little selfishness out of you, do we?
No, he won't. He's a little shy to pull the trigger, but we'll get him there by senior year. But
Yeah.
with the way the game's changing, right? I mean, you need to be able to shoot the ball. That's probably one of the biggest skill sets you need offensively.
What's the? It was Rick Pitino already used to say that long two is like the worst shot in basketball.
Yes.
Does that translate to the high school level?
Yes.
It does.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because the game has even since I went to high school, the game has changed a lot. Where I see teams like just. We barely even used to shoot threes when I was like.
Oh yeah, no,
like, it's drive. If you shot a three, you'd like have to have a special privilege to let that thing fly, or like you're gonna be on the bench.
Yep.
Like now, it's like it seems like every high school kid can just let it fly whenever they want, and the coaches are like, "All right, get back on D."
Yep.
And that has changed, kind of like the college game has changed, I guess. But
Yeah, like analytically, I mean, it makes sense. So I was talking with someone a couple of days ago that if so Parker shot 50% from three this year.
really, wow,
Yeah, 50.5. But if we usually have 60 possessions in a game. So if he was to come down and shoot a three every time, you
Yep.
know, a max of 180 points in a game. And if he just he hit half of them, which he statistically does,
be in the 90s
it'd
every
be
game.
90 points a game.
See that math, boys? It's good stuff, right? And so you're giving him the green light. No, you don't want him shooting.
Oh yeah, no, oh yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
He had 7 threes our last game.
Wow, look at you. You must be an unguardable man then.
Yes.
Yeah. See, the guy that gave me the bad nose, I kind of know he's driving.
Yeah.
And sometimes this happens, but yeah, that's why it doesn't quite it translates. I'm better for radio today, the TV thing. Hopefully, not scaring too many people. I don't think it looks that bad. But any injuries this year, by the way? Any? Last year you had kind of a bad one, didn't you? There a bad injury last year? Who's the girls' team? You guys probably can't even remember
Yeah,
last year.
the girls' team had a bad one.
Yeah.
I believe.
They're still rolling too, by the way, right?
Yes, they are.
What's the? I know, Coach. I know that I always say the coaches of the basketball programs are pretty close, which is always a cool thing because not every school is like that. It's certainly not every within sport. I know it. If you live through any school, it's kind of it's not a guarantee that the coach of the girls and the coach of the boys team are gonna, never mind, work together, but like each other, which you guys do. Must be cool to see them make a run kind of along with you guys.
Yeah, I'm excited for
Coach Crutchfield.
Yep, looking forward to tomorrow night they play, and Trevor's sister plays a
Is
key
that right?
role on that team.
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, so
Good for you. Any
support her.
You've been kind of talking to each other, Trevor, through this all?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's hard going to her.
Grab that mic for you.
It's just kind of tough going to their games just because we'll usually play on the same night. But my parents, so they have to split. Like one person goes to one game, the other goes to the other.
Think of that.
Yeah,
That
so
must
they'll
be
just watch
brutal.
one. Yeah, they'll just watch the other game on like Port Media or just like with our film app after. They
Oh,
play, so.
Andy's gonna plug the station. What a guy!
I had to.
I like that. We can have you on anytime, Trevor.
All right.
That's a lot more. So that we can imagine the dinner table talk is a lot of basketball. Or
Yeah, a lot of basketball.
what's her game? Similar to yours or different? Or
I mean, she's a point guard. She doesn't really shoot that much either, so I guess pretty similar.
So it's a
but-
family problem.
Yeah.
They teach unselfishness in the household there.
Yeah, they definitely.
Yeah, too much, says Coach Clay. Well, that's cool. So obviously, what's it been like watching there? Well, from a distance, I know you've had your own run, but what's that been like having both of you two kind of make a run here?
It's good. I mean, like, I'm proud. Everyone always talks to me and say, "Oh, like your sister's pretty good. Like she's just a freshman," which is like really good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freshman, man. All right. Well, that's very cool. Jake, what was it like having that? Is it kind of cool having the girls and the guys making a run? Or?
Yeah, definitely. And they're young, too, which is cool to see. They'll be really good in the future.
Yeah.
So
As upperclassmen, you guys like, I wouldn't think they'd be that good.
yeah.
The youngsters are that good? Interesting. Parker, as a senior, what did you learn? I mean, obviously you were a leader on this team. I wonder, what did you learn from like, whether it be your brother or other leaders of the past of like leading a team? Because you kind of had to, I don't know how many seniors were on this year's team, but you were obviously kind of the guy.
Yeah, well, I learned how to lead by example, and when things aren't going well in the court, just sometimes you just gotta gather the team up and talk to them about what they need to do better.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Always pick your teammates up.
Were you kind of the guy that, things aren't going well, something needs to be said in the locker room, maybe energy's not there? Were you kind of the guy that would step up and say something? Because
I mean, we had 4 captains this year, and everyone pretty much played a role in that.
why don't you name drop them? Just some.
Nick White was really vocal this year. He would be the guy drawing up plays at halftime, and
Oh, is that right?
yeah, talking
Scrappy
to us.
little guard, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. But yeah, everyone really chipped in to help out with that.
Who are the other two? I like giving the captain some shout outs.
We got Jacob and then Ryan Archie.
Jay and Archie, okay, good. Junior captain, huh?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. That's a little bit more pressure, I always found.
Maybe a little, but
Yeah.
I feel like I'm prepared, yeah.
I was gonna say you don't seem to get too stressed out about pressure there.
No, not really.
What, Coach? What goes into making a junior a captain? I know that's not always the easiest call for a coach to do that.
No, there's they have to have high character.
Yeah.
And they have to have confidence, and you can see it in the way Jacob plays. And Nick was just, we made Nick a captain halfway through. Just
Halfway through the season?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Just because he was being a great teammate, and there was actually one play where Ryan Archie had fallen down, and Nick physically picked him up on his way back in transition
Really?
defense. He's always giving high fives and doing the little things that, go a long way within a team that a lot of people overlook.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
What's that? Have you done that before? Mid-season captain?
Yeah.
Yeah. Something you always kind of leave the door open to?
Yeah. If someone's fulfilling that role and doing a good job, you want to recognize them.
Yeah. Very nice. It must be kind of a. Is he a junior or a senior?
He's a junior.
He's a junior. So I take it there. You get a nice little leader badge for next year, then, huh?
Oh yeah.
You must be thrilled.
I am. I'm gonna miss this guy. Don't get me wrong.
That's right. It seems like everybody's gonna miss you, Parker. You've left a good legacy here. By the way, are we doing college plans? You mind if I ask about that, or
Sure.
do we know what you're doing yet, or?
Yeah, so I definitely plan to play basketball next year, whether it be college or possibly a 5th year of high school. I definitely want to play somewhere.
What is that? How does that whole? I mean, you're probably one of those kids that like has all those fifth-year schools kind of really saying this is a really good idea. Right? If am I right on that?
I guess so.
You
Yeah.
get pushed pretty hard. I mean, that's going to be kind of a tough balance because it's like it is different. Not everybody does that, but I mean, for athletes, it can be a nice little transition period.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a tough choice wherever I choose. But yeah, I'm just.
Is it stressful, or do you just kind of like you're going to land in the right place?
I wasn't really stressed about it during the season. I pretty much knew I wasn't going to make a decision until at least after the season. So I was just focusing on the winter season and then take it from there.
Coach ever give you ever bounce ideas off your coach, or what do you think about this, or are you not there yet?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we've been talking about it pretty much the whole year.
Yeah, because they've seen some things. They always Coaches are always good people to bounce things off. Tend to steer you in right directions. Well, that's good. So we'll be following your plans. I won't try to get too much out of you on that front. Does brother give you any kind of advice? Because he went through all that too, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he went through it, and then my parents have experienced it with him, so they've given me good advice on it.
So you have no shortage of advice, what you're saying. I don't need any more advice from anyone.
Yeah.
That's funny. Jacob, what was like practice like this year? Was it a group that was it ever a grind showing up to practice, or was it like you guys looked forward to getting together as a group and getting after it?
I think it was fun once we got after and once we were like all engaged in practice. And
because winter's a long season, like people forget. I always think like the winter sports are like the ones like it gets dark early, like you got a lot of school stuff going on. Like I do remember some of the winter sports in particular being the ones that are like, just a night off would be good.
Yeah, I think like we had a bunch of competitors and people that wanted to win, so they're willing to put the time and the work in.
Never a drag.
No, I don't think so. No.
All right, Trevor, agreed.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
100%.
Yeah, I was excited to go.
You sure? It's off season now. Coach can't make you. He can't make you run.
No, I was excited to come to practice every day. Everyone was just like a fun person to be with. So just even if we weren't really practicing yet, like if we just had to be there early, it was just fun, like being in the locker room with everyone.
That's cool. What was is it a team that was like tight with like, do you guys do the pasta parties and all that stuff? And then, or
yeah, we would normally like go out to eat, like the captains would organize it, or someone else would just suggest a place to go.
Yeah.
So mainly like not really to people's houses, just like to different places.
Gotcha. The kids are eating out more, Coach. You notice this? Yeah. It used to be like strictly mom or dad. Somebody had to pick up the. Now it's like we went out to whatever. It's a lot different. Well, that's good. So you guys were a close group. You think that benefited you during this run? I mean, there must have been times during the year where you got to pick up a teammate, or somebody's having an off night and somebody's going to pick up the slack, that sort of thing. Yeah,
definitely. I think that's like one of the main reasons why we worked so well together, just because we were spending so much time with each other at practice, and then on top of that at pasta parties and stuff like that, just getting to know each other as like individuals. So,
Jacob, you ever get sick of each other?
No, definitely
Answer
not.
Truthfully.
Nah, basketball is like my favorite time of the year. So
is that right?
Yeah.
No, that's so sweet. Parker, same thing. Never say you get sick of somebody. I could tell.
No.
Come on.
We never get sick of each other. we always want to go somewhere to eat. Doesn't really matter where, but
fine.
Even though it's just burning a hole through our wallets, we still want to be with each other. So
I'm not going to get any drama out of this group. Fine. Who guards you at practice?
Usually Tommy Jan. He's another.
This is the answer now. Okay.
Big.
It's not one person. You can't guard me with one person. That's your new answer.
Yeah. So the other bigs, Tommy Jan, Tyler Sperry, or Andrew Cullen.
I would think they must be getting better.
Yeah, I would hope so.
That must be quite a task. I mean, actually, in general, you guys, I got to fewer of your games this year than I have in the past couple of years. But, Coach, it seems like you have a nice rotation of. Usually, depth is a strong point with you guys, and it kind of feels like that way. Again, just by reading the newspaper, I can see a lot of names that aren't even here right now, and a lot of names that played a big role in your team. I can imagine depth makes for good practices and intense practices, and
yeah, it does. Yeah. And it's a good problem to have,
and you're on the record as saying you don't run with them anymore, so
no. I had a few coaches in our league, who when we have say like a three strings of lineups,
yep,
who would who asked me if they could have some of our third stringers because they would start for them.
Yes.
I mean, I felt like we went very deep, but, not everyone always got to play in every game, which was tough because I knew how skilled they were and they knew how skilled they were. It just didn't work out that way during games.
Yeah.
So hopefully next year's their year.
How was the bench, though? Basketball is like one of those sports. I talk about this a lot where, you watch an NCAA game, there's literally a camera like that's just fixed on the bench, like for those guys that are like, I don't know if you want to call them the hype guys or whatever, but like it really does play a role. Like they can help like just kind of lift the guys on the floor. And you can kind of feel that during a game, and never mind those guys putting in all the work in at practice. It is kind of a big team sport. Like people don't realize how it's not always just like the 8 or 9 guys you're rotating. Those 12 and 13 guys play a big role too. I'm sure you guys appreciate that. For guys who play a lot, those guys that maybe don't get a lot of time, you must appreciate that kind of support too.
Yeah, definitely. Like Charlie Kalian and Finn Sullivan kind of organized the bench mob. So every time one of these guys,
that's what I was looking for, the bench mob. Okay, yeah.
Exactly. Every time like one of those guys hits a 3, they always have like a celebration ready. Whether like,
go ahead. Nope, show it.
I mean, I don't know one specific. I guess you can go like this, like
yeah, that's
they dance.
I like
weightlifting.
Weightlifting.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Very good.
They're really creative with it. So.
All right, I'm glad we went in that direction. And they must make practice. I mean, they're probably grinding at practice with you guys. People don't realize that like they're the ones making you better too, right, Jacob?
Yeah, definitely. They push us every day, and they always have like a fresh set of legs. And sometimes like they would be better competition than the team we're gonna play next. Right. So it's always good to have.
Yeah, well, that's a good compliment. And Parker, you kind of were that guy too, freshman year, right? I mean, the guy that was trying to push from not the starting 5, right?
Yeah, definitely. I practiced with varsity my freshman year, so it was pretty much my job to get them ready for the next game, along with the other guys on the bench. So, yeah, and this year especially, we really emphasized the scout team giving us a good look. Like, if the other team's defense was going to be aggressive, we really needed them to be scrappy and
bring your energy.
They did a good job of that. Yeah,
that is good. What was that? Think back to that. It really is kind of a fascinating story because you getting all these points on the back end to get to 1,000, like that kind of roller coaster of going from like scout team to the big dog on the team. Like it must be kind of strange to look back on and go, that was quite a 4-year ride.
I think there was a huge senior class my freshman year, which they were all, I think there was 7 or 8 of them, and they all played. But I think I made a huge improvement from my freshman to sophomore year, which really, and I was able to start as a sophomore. So
7, 8 seniors on a team, like that's not as a freshman. I mean, that can be, those seniors are usually pretty tight, and even if they're like nice to the freshmen, it's not always the most welcoming environment. Sometimes you got to earn it. Was that sometimes tough? Was it, making your stance, proving yourself?
I mean, they were obviously welcoming of me, but yeah, it was definitely hard to prove myself sometimes. I didn't really have the confidence yet in my game.
So that develops. When did you start getting that? When did you start getting that confidence where you're like, get me the ball in the big spot?
I guess
week 2 freshman year? No.
I guess probably this year it really started.
Really? Senior year?
Yeah, probably halfway through the year, stuff really started clicking with me.
You had some big games last year, though.
I did, yeah.
But just in your own mind, it was okay.
Yeah, I think I really gained a lot of confidence this year.
That's really interesting. So senior year, wow. And then you have quick 500 points. There you go. I guess that's how it works.
Yeah.
Do you think part of that was because your brother was on the floor with you last year?
I mean, obviously, yeah. There's the having to share points and different.
There's only so many McLaren points that can go around.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. How's he doing, by the way? Is he? We should ask that. I'm always curious about. The college
so
level.
Tufts actually just won the NESCAC tournament championship.
Look at that.
Last weekend. So they're in the NCAA tournament now, and I think they play this Friday.
March Madness. You going?
Yeah, I'll be going. They have a home game.
Very nice. That's exciting. You guys all watch the March Madness? You get into it this time of year?
Yeah, definitely. Always looking forward to that. Filling out brackets.
Yep. Trevor?
Yeah, I'm into it, but I just think it's like a waste of money. I'm always throwing my money away because the bracket's horrible. So.
I heard a story today with the coronavirus going around that there's talk about. I don't think it's actually a possibility, but this like kind of powerful group petitioned the NCAA to do some of the games without fans. It'd be like madness without the madness.
The Olympics too.
Yeah, the Olympics. Although they came out today and said their plan is to go as scheduled, but kind of a strange thing. Because that coach, you're in the school too. Is that is there like are schools talking about this, the coronavirus deal?
Not that I'm hearing.
No, yeah.
I'm sure they are behind closed doors in case it does, turn into like a shutdown and we don't have school for a week or so.
You don't do like does Newburyport do like the overseas trips to?
They do. They do. So I don't know how that's going to go because I know EF Tours, they're like a big group who does a lot of overseas events. I know they've canceled some to Italy and of course China and other areas, so I wouldn't be surprised if that trip may get canceled. Because
there's a bunch of, I think, local schools that were doing the Italy trip, and they actually told those kids to stay home once they got back, which is I don't know, a little vacation, I guess.
Yeah.
But hopefully everybody's okay. But no, I was just curious. It's a weird thing, these new health issues that develop, and whenever you're dealing with a bunch of kids in the same place, it's never mind if you're traveling overseas. But anyway, from the coronavirus to basketball, let's see. Let's do a little rapid fire. Actually, Trevor, we'll start with you. I think you ever done this before? Have we done this with you before?
Yeah, I've done this once. I think.
Man, so I didn't review my past questions with you. All right. Well, maybe we'll just do some. It won't hurt anybody if we do some repeats. Favorite movie?
Kicking and Screaming, probably. Will Ferrell.
The soccer?
Yeah, the soccer movie.
What? I mean, okay, movie.
Or Step Brothers. I don't know. Something with Will Ferrell in it.
Right, Step Brothers is a little bit more common. Put the first ever Kicking and Screaming vote up.
I think I said that the last time too.
Really?
I
so
just
the
really
second
like
one, but it's you both times.
Yeah.
I don't know how I don't remember that. God, Kicking and Screaming. It's funny. My uncle was like, I think he was a soccer coach for like my younger cousin. Enjoyed that movie too. I think I thought it was just because it was that time of year, but whatever. Favorite TV show?
I liked Game of Thrones, but I
did too.
Yeah.
That's good. And favorite music?
Like hip hop, rap.
Favorite musician?
Lil Uzi Vert. Respect.
Ooh, you guys smiled. I don't think do you know, coach? You're no idea. Yeah, I'm bad at that now though. These days, you guys are all mentioning artists that I don't know and making me feel old. Trevor, favorite movie? Yeah, sorry, Trevor. Jacob, favorite movie for you?
Definitely Step Brothers. I said that last time too.
Okay, so yeah. I'm getting into the repeat. Don't make me feel bad on the repeat questions. Favorite TV show?
Maybe like Lucifer. You ever seen that?
No.
On Netflix.
No. What's that like?
It's about like
Spark Notes version.
It's about like the devil basically, and he like comes to Earth.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anybody else watching that?
No, I've
That's just Jacob time.
Trailers for it.
Yeah.
Favorite musician?
Lil Baby probably.
Yeah, I see. I know that.
Yeah.
Favorite sport to play other than basketball?
Maybe soccer.
Soccer.
Yeah.
Do you actually play soccer?
Nah, I used to until like 8th grade.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Favorite coach in the Newburyport system?
This guy.
Well done. Parker, favorite movie?
I think last time I was on the show, I said Batman.
Has it changed?
No,
it's still Batman.
Changed. Yeah,
I do remember your Batman answer. Favorite TV show?
Probably Impractical Jokers. You heard of that one?
I have.
Yeah.
Let's see. That may be a first for that one. Favorite subject?
In school?
No.
Probably
yes, in school.
History.
History. What do you like about history?
I just like learning about history.
History,
I guess.
yes.
I like geography and stuff like that. So.
Favorite sports player other than basketball?
Baseball.
Thing that you're better than your brother at? Dominate him.
Basketball. No.
Good answer.
Better at video games than him.
Are you?
Yeah.
Was that kind of the that was you always held it over him in the household?
Yeah, definitely.
All games?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Really? Do you guys? I think I mentioned this last time you guys were on the show, but I think you or your brother. I can't remember exactly which one of you guys told me this, but that pasta party that your parents were hosting.
Yeah.
And during, I think it was hockey season, right? and the Bruins were playing and the Celtics were playing.
I think so.
The Bruins game was like more important. I think Game 7 or something. Celtics was important too, but Bruins was definitely more important. One of the guys at the Bruins game on it was changed and said, "Sorry, boys, we're a basketball house."
Yeah.
Did I have that pretty much right?
Pretty much. I think I remember that.
That is funny. I don't know if Casey told me that story or what, but I loved that. I thought that was very funny. What was the one thing about this year's Newburyport Clippers that you would not know by watching them just, from the stands? What was the one thing that people, even your parents, even people that come every day, wouldn't know about your team?
Probably how fun of a group we are, like how much we joke around with each other and just have fun with each other.
Yeah, fun group. Jacob, same answer, same question.
I'd say like how much like we cared about the game and how much like work we were willing to put in to like get results.
That's a good answer. Trevor?
Yeah, kind of tie mine in with Parker. Like, you wouldn't really see like how close we really were just from all the stuff that we were doing, like all the time that we spent together throughout like the winter season.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I was actually thinking about your all the parents as you're watching those games. Is it there is kind of a family commitment, your family even more with 2 kids, playing ball. But how much, it is kind of a lot that goes into like making you guys good basketball players. You need not only support, getting places and all that stuff, but like it's not a one-man show, right?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of work goes in on their part, just like obviously like paying for everything that we need
At a young age too, right?
Yeah, we've been playing basketball for a while. So
when did you start playing basketball?
like third grade.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Jacob, same deal.
Yeah, 3rd grade, I think.
Somewhere
around there, yeah.
So that's it. Have you guys all been playing together for years, or is it kind of a mismatch of?
Yeah, I mean, I was on Jacob's travel team for a couple years because he played up actually. So
a little bit of a prodigy, Jacob.
yeah, and then I've been on Trevor's team for a few years now.
Okay. So wait. So what year did you guys start playing together?
I think 5th grade.
5th grade.
Fifth
Grade travel ball.
4th, 5th, and 6th. Yeah.
4th, 5th, and 6th. So you guys got a little chemistry there. Did you see Coach Clay in the stand scouting you guys at that time, or?
Nah. I was there.
He was there. Yeah. That's fun. So I mean, that tends to be the deal though with these places like Newburyport that have the travel squads and you can play with each other for a while. Like, are there moments where like you really feel that chemistry on the floor, like in big moments where like I knew you were going to cut that way, that sort of thing? Like, did you have that moment during the year, maybe a bunch of times?
Yeah, I mean, we really have great chemistry, so I think we really played great together.
Because it is such a feel game too. I mean, if you can tell when teams are kind of disjointed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Did you get? I mean, games sometimes just maybe defenses can do that to you sometimes. But did you guys always just kind of feel connected as a group out there? And when you weren't, coach was taking a time out to fix it.
Yeah, I think everyone had a great relationship on the court. And we could tell when other teams didn't really have chemistry, and we would take advantage of that.
Defining moment of the season. What was could be in practice, could be a big spot in the game. What was like the moment that you're going to be like, oh man, that was a turning point this year? Tough question. Parker's first. You guys going to be thinking about that?
That's a tough one.
You're like, I think it was when I got that 1,000th point. That was really Ooh, Trevor.
Yeah, sure.
You got it, Arn. Good.
I think.
See, now that's teamwork, by the way. You see that? Parker's thinking. Trevor steps up. I like that.
I think when we lost to Amesbury in the Rowanski tournament, that was definitely a turning point for us because.
That was early.
Yeah, it was early. And we were 2-3 at that point, I think, and we just said we weren't gonna like lose another game after that, and we were gonna win it all. Obviously, that was like the goal from the beginning, but it was like a rude awakening for us, I think.
Really? Wow. So that was an early loss you felt you should have had?
Yeah, I think we should have had it.
Interesting. All right. Well, I like that answer. Jacob, you got one yet before we go to Paul?
I'd say also Amesbury, but also when we lost to Hamilton Wenham, that was a Cape Ann League game too. Yeah. So that hurt us. I know we wanted to go undefeated.
These guys take losses personally, Coach. Parker?
Yeah, I agree with both of those, but I'd say when we beat Amesbury the second time around, we had a pretty rough first half, and it looked like the same thing might happen, but then we picked it up in the third quarter, ended up winning by like 25 or something like that. So That was a good revenge game.
Good revenge game. You guys are good at the revenge games this year. Coach, sometimes that answer differs for a coach. They see maybe a smaller moment than, a full game or something. Or what's your answer to that question? I'm just curious.
Defining moment?
Yeah.
I knew this group was going to be like just a great group of human beings. But when I was out with my wife when she was having our baby, I got the greatest report back from the athletic director who ran our practice. And you never know what's going to happen. We had only been together for a few days, and you don't know how certain players are going to respond. And he gave these guys the highest praise he possibly could. And I knew then that we were going to be truly special.
Really? So Kyle ran the practice when you guys were out?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Did you guys just run the practice? I don't know how much.
Oh, he knows.
Kyle knows his ball?
Oh, he's a very good basketball coach.
I knew he had a little background, but all right, very good. What was that like? Was it weird having coach away for a bit, bringing the new family member in?
Yeah, it was definitely different. It was like a different type of coaching, which is always good, but it was good once
I don't
he
care
got
about
back
Kyle's
into
coaching. I just mean, what was it like being away from Coach Clay?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's always there. This must have been very unusual for you guys.
Yeah, definitely a different type of feel in practice, but knew we had to get after it for him.
Yeah. Was it almost like kind of almost more attention to detail and more attention to making sure you guys are on because you don't want to let Coach down when he's gone?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, didn't want to have a bad report sent to him.
Yeah, I'll say the good words. Don't worry, Jacob.
Yeah.
I got you. Trevor, what was it? Let's talk about Coach Slay for a second because you guys have all now. You guys have all played. Not you, right? You had a different coach. How long you been here, Coach?
3 years.
3. So you had a different coach freshman year.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys have had Coach Clay all your varsity career.
Mhm.
That's what's it been like playing for Coach Clay?
It's great. I mean,
It'd be weird if you didn't say it's great.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
with him
exactly.
right over your left shoulder.
just gonna
Maybe, yeah.
throw that out there already.
Trevor's looking at me like, you kidding me with that question?
But one thing I really like is how he forms like a personal connection with each person that plays basketball, whether freshman, sophomore, junior, senior.
Yeah.
I remember like when I was a freshman, at the end of the season, for our meeting, he would like talk and we'd set goals and stuff like that. Or even during the season, like watching some of the games, he'd talk to me after it. So
Yeah, that's cool. And I mean, Jacob, do you guys feel a little bit like next year you'll be seniors, and it's kind of like, so that you're like his group really when you talk about like 4-year spans, like he's got to work with you guys all 4 years. Like, are you kind of that's kind of like a special moment where like this is the full product here.
Yeah.
Let's make it a good year next year. You must be looking forward to that already.
Yeah, definitely be exciting.
We could still use Parker.
Can't see. Yeah, definitely gonna miss him. Yeah. Once it comes to an end, though, I don't know how that's gonna work. But
You're already emotional about this, are you?
no, not at all.
You kind of are. I can tell.
Nah.
Parker, what's it? I know I kind of that crash and burn thing I talked about earlier with the season just kind of comes to an end. It's like you're always thinking about the next game. What is that? Every high schooler has been through it. We all move on and all that sort of stuff. But what are those final moments like where it finally hits? Last game. That's it.
Yeah, it definitely was just a sudden ending, and I'm obviously gonna miss it a lot. But yeah, I just wish I had another year.
I don't think the MIA will allow that. But
Maybe I can get a waiver something.
But it's did you senior year? I know the ones that obviously. It seems like you got the most out of it play wise. Were you trying to like soak up every last minute, like maybe the second half of the season? I only got so many home games left. I only got so many practices left.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking that as the time started winding down, just trying to take advantage of every practice and every game and just embrace it.
Was there one like silly moment, like something just ridiculous that like you were like, I'm gonna miss that?
I would say that we did karaoke.
Okay, yeah,
last
I'm
week.
glad we got back to the karaoke. What is the karaoke story?
So it was part of a team building like goal that we made earlier in the year. One of the things was that at some point in the season we would have to do karaoke. So we all chose a song. Some people did duets or like groups of 4, but we all had to sing a song karaoke, and it was really funny.
As a group of 4.
Group of 4 or single or
Did you go solo?
I did go solo.
Oh man, what'd you do?
I sang "Party in the USA" by Miley Cyrus.
Wow, very interesting. And that was your choice?
Yeah, I chose it.
Big Miley fan, are you?
Yep.
I'm actually a big Miley fan too. I think she's very talented, and that's a very catchy song. It's
Yes.
more like 5 years ago, though, right?
Longer than that?
Longer, says Lily.
Yeah.
Lily, I didn't even know you were there. Sorry. So, yeah, what year was that, Big Lily? You probably remember.
2008 maybe?
That's a 2008 song.
Yeah.
Digging back into the archives.
I guess so.
Good for you. All right, boys. So this is what we've been doing. We've been doing a Instagram moment here. Every show, because I've been told I need to get better with Instagram, which I actually see you guys are pretty good at as a basketball team. Who's on that? Is that you, Coach, or somebody else?
Phantom.
No you guys know who's on the Instagram? Who's running the Instagram? You guys don't even know?
No idea.
Really? I feel like that's kind of mysterious. So we have to keep something quick here for a minute. We're going to do a quick little hello. You guys can introduce yourselves. Why don't we do thank you to the Newburyport. Say thank you to whoever you want for the support this year. And one other quick thought. Can you guys do that? Like 10, 12 seconds each?
Yeah, sure.
You guys got it? We're going to do this. Translates to radio. Don't worry. All right, video. And we'll introduce yourselves first. So, ready, go. All right, back on the radio here. Drew Moholland, Afternoon Drive. We got the Newburyport Boys Basketball squad in the house. Great tournament run has just ended. Say hello, boys.
Hello.
All right. We're going to have them introduce themselves and say something nice. Let's start with we'll go this way.
Hi, I'm Parker McLaren, and I just want to thank all the fans and the whole city for coming to support us this year.
1,000-point score.
Hi, I'm Jacob Robertson. I also want to thank the people for coming out and showing support for the team.
Hi, I'm Trevor Ward, and I also want to thank the parents, but also the students that came out to the games.
And good luck to his sister, still making a run.
Coach Clay, and I want to thank all the fans, the community, and specifically my athletic director, Kyle Hodson, who always lended an ear and support throughout the whole entire season.
All right. Newburyport Clippers basketball. There you go. Good group there. Well done. Under a minute. See, that's how you execute it right there. Might be our most successful Instagram done on timely matter there. Very smart, Coach. I was thinking the athletic director. Very smart professional.
Honestly.
Sierra, let's give the coach a because that is a real deal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He's honestly been phenomenal. And what he's done for our athletic department overall is so impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really he really puts a lot of thought and detail into everything he does.
You know, I was funny because you guys know I followed the hockey team for a while, calling their games back in the day. So I grew very close with Coach Emin too. And you guys mentioned how he's a basketball guy and can run a practice successfully and all that. And I think when he was first coming in, I remember, I don't know if he's really a hockey guy. He's not necessarily a Coach Emin saying that, but I know that was a lot of the talk. Like, he's a basketball guy. That'll be great. I remember Coach Emin and all the coaches telling me he is so good with all the sports. Like, he's just he's just really committed to everything. And I get very few complaints from Kyle Hudson.
No, he pours everything he has into this job, and I think it shows by the success all the teams are having, and I mean the coaches he's been able to hire. I mean he's so detailed in everything he does that, like, even game day prep, preparing for the game, getting everything set up, he just every little detail matters to him, and I truly appreciate that.
He's always been good to us coming on here too, including just before your win last week. He was on the show, which was nice, getting us all ready for. I think that was the Drake game. Is that kid still on Drake? By the way,
Yeah, he was a freshman last year.
Yeah,
so
that's
he's a
right. I remember
sophomore
that
this year.
story. That's who shut him down this year?
It's a team effort, but
Who are we giving credit?
Nah, not really. I think Max and
Oh,
Jack.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Jack. We put Jack Fellner on him.
Oh, okay.
And then when they had dribble handoffs or an exchange, they'd switch, and so between Max's speed and Jack's his length, we were able to somewhat contain him.
Back to your depth. See, his name hasn't even come up at all, but he shut down like one of the best players in the.
Is this Jack?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No.
You call him Jax? Is that right?
Jack. Just.
Oh, Jack. Okay, sorry. Yeah. And he shut him down that thing.
Oh, he was terrific all year. He was awesome.
What made you put him on him? What are you looking for first, that kid? Because he was unguardable that night last year when you guys got knocked out by Drake. And I mean, he was making shots that was good defense. He was just making shots.
The tough thing about Adrian is he has like I don't
What's
know
his last name? Adrian what?
Torres.
Torres, yeah.
And I don't know what his wingspan is, but it's huge.
Yeah.
So he's only 5'8", but he's able to get shots off bigger defenders. And just looking at Jack, Jack has a lot of length in his arms as well. That probably is not proportional to his body. So he has these long arms, so he's able to contest shots and just keep them in front of him.
Parker, when you said that who's the assistant coach that told you they reenacted that shot?
I think it was either Coach Massey or Coach Melanson.
So does that stuff, I do know the answer to this, but I'm just going to ask it anyway. Does that stuff actually help when you hear something like that? Like, does it actually translate to the floor?
I mean, it definitely got us. It definitely fueled the
Angry?
fire. Yeah, for them to come on our home court and do that, it definitely got us angry.
There you go. You could say a little more. You're a senior now. You don't have to come back and play those guys next year. But that must have been I can imagine that being one of the more satisfying wins of your career.
Yeah, I mean, for them to knock us off last year, that was a real heartbreaker. So good to get back at them, and it was a come from behind win, which was also good.
You guys played really great in that game last year too, though. I remember that was not like I kind of felt like you guys just they took that game rather than you guys lost it last year. Fair assessment, you think?
Yeah, I mean, they made an unbelievable run. I mean, they went on to win the North, so they're really just on top of their game.
Do those kind of losses make you better? Better basketball players, but maybe even better people. Just character building. Is that you think there's some truth to that?
Yeah, it definitely made us more resilient, and just make sure we work hard for the next season.
Did it fuel you guys this year, you think?
Yeah, definitely. We pretty much knew after the season wrapped up, even though the seedings weren't out, we knew we had Drake it, so we were able to start preparing for them and start getting pumped up for the game.
What's it? You said you got down 6, Jacob, in that game?
Yeah, I think we were down 6 at half.
Did nerves set in or anything? Here we go again. Is there any? It must naturally creep into the mind a little bit. They made another run. We're down here halfway through.
I think it was just kind of like a wake up call at halftime that we needed to step up, be the tougher team.
Yeah, but tournament play though, those games, they can get away from you quickly. It's a quick. Basketball's a kind of it might feel like a long game when you're in the stands watching, but there's certain like junctures where game could get away right here, and you've dug yourself a hole you can't get out of. Like there's maybe your coach has the perfect timeout, and there's ways to stop it momentarily, but they can get away quickly. Was that a thought ever in your head, or?
Not really, but it's just kind of like a game of runs. Each team will go on a run.
Yeah, and you guys like to rely on your defense. I know that's always a good thing when you kind of never lose that, right? That's the effort thing, Trevor. The defensive play. If you can play defense, you can always climb back.
Yeah, exactly. Just constantly putting on pressure and just being resilient, like Parker talked about. I think that's what's won us a lot of these close games. So.
Yeah, Coach. What's the Coach Clay? What is when you're talking about that defensive, like you want to throw that mindset in? Is that something that you and the assistant coaches were like? That's just we want toughness and we want defense. Like that's year after year. That's what we want to bring.
Yeah, I think there's very few things we can control, within a game, and I think our defensive intensity is one we can, and our defensive pressure. You can't control if the ball's going to go in the hoop, but you can make sure guys are in the right position and giving their best the full length of the court.
What is it? What does frustrate you as a coach? You seem to be a pretty mild-mannered guy. What? Maybe the players are better to answer this question. We'll look at your answer first, though. What is Coach Clay's pet peeve?
Oh man, so many.
Are there really? You get a lot of them?
Oh yeah. Not grabbing a loose ball with 2 hands.
Common basketball coach one.
Yep.
Not using the backboard.
Not using the backboard drives me bananas. Being in position to take a charge and not taking a charge drives me bananas.
Yeah.
I could go. Yeah. I think every day there was one that I'd tell these guys like, hey, this is
Would you guys like to add to that? Anybody got one that's really jumping to the? Trevor's got a little smirk on his face there.
No, that's a pretty good list. I was gonna say taking a charge because there's been countless times where I've been in position, but I haven't really taken one.
Personal experience.
But you did when it mattered.
Oh, you took a big one, did you?
Yeah, I did take one.
Yep.
Wait, go ahead.
I
Which
think it
one
was
talking about?
It was in the Drake game against Adrian Torres.
All right, so you made your Adrian little staple there too. Very good. He drives, you step in.
Yeah, I think he had like kind of a fast break. I think Jakers was on the side of him, and then I just kind of stepped in.
That put him in foul trouble, or?
Yeah, he ended up fouling out like towards the end of the game. But
interesting. So big play. Those can be like game changers too, right? Momentum shifts. Does it kill you when the ref gets it wrong too?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it is a tough call. It's the toughest call, like in sports, the block charge thing. Some of them are incredibly close. I do feel like in high school that charge never gets like college. I feel like they're calling it more now.
Yeah.
The charge, like it seems like you get a good feel for what it is. High school level, I feel like they're just guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I feel like I'm winding you up. This is good.
Yeah, no, I'm getting fired up. I think it depends on the officials we have too. Like some officials love calling a charge, and we all know who those are.
You guys have referee scouting reports now?
Oh yeah, and there's some that just sometimes if there's a 3-man officiating crew, they're more apt to be in the right place to see it, and
yeah,
if you have 2-man, it's tough.
We joke a lot about the refs. There are some very good ones out there.
There are. I don't know where, but they're out there. No, I'm kidding.
I tried to give you the layup, coach. Come on.
No, there are. We are very fortunate to have quality officials that, ref a fair game.
Parker, I have seen you get called for some brutal fouls. Brutal fouls that like if they were called at the Beverly Athletic Club where I play, we'd have issues. I don't know. I think to myself sometimes that referee has never played a game before.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get penalized for just being bigger and stronger.
I guess so, yeah.
Would you like me to keep talking? Because this is all going well for you so far.
Sure.
Yeah. But, how do you deal with that? Do you just put your head down and go down? Is there a point where you've gained the respect where you can say, ref, come on, you gotta see that's just me being stronger than the guy here?
Yeah, well, when I was younger, like maybe sophomore and a little bit junior year, I would complain a lot after every call that I didn't agree with, but I pretty much learned to just keep playing because it's not going to help me either way. So
yeah,
just maybe if they call that a foul and maybe not do it the next time.
So you were complaining a lot as a young guy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, you must have a little more leeway now. Like they got to pay you a little more respect, right? No, you got no respect.
Maybe not in the high school game. That's how it works in the NBA, but
yeah. Well, in college, I saw. I guess it's never good when you know the official's name, but I watch a lot of college ball, and Teddy Valentine, who was a referee. You know him, Coach? Yeah. I swear the other night in the game, he looks at this freshman and he goes, "I'm not giving you the time of day," just because the kid was a freshman, and he was wrong. It actually was a foul that he called. So, but I don't know. We won't get too much into officiating to end the show, but I just want to say you were violated a little bit in past years. Go ahead, Coach.
I think these guys did a great job of taking on the mentality. We talked about it that it's just going to be, and this is no, disrespect to the officials, but we're just going to go 5-on-7. Yeah. So or 5-on-8. So
that's something you've heard in the huddles a lot, huh?
So don't expect the calls. Because I think when you expect them, right, then you get mad that they don't happen. Yeah. And these guys never expected the call. They just kept on playing.
That's good.
It's great.
My guy, the guy that hit me would have been tossed. Would have been a flagrant 2 the other night. Swinging the elbows. Not good. Boys, pleasure as always. That hour flew by. Hope you had fun. Newburyport Basketball. That was already an hour. Anything else you had to say? Anything? No? Young guys? No?
Oh, thank you to my wife, Rebecca.
How about a year for her, huh?
Oh, my goodness.
You must have been a real pain to deal with.
I was.
Coaching a basketball team, newborn.
Yep. It was. So after our Drake win, this was the best thing ever. She, I was so happy about the win. We're talking about it. And she goes up to bed with the baby, and she's like, all right, you're not done yet. Get back to work.
It's something every young dad knows that feeling, right? And what's your wife's name again?
Rebecca.
We should mention her a little more in the show here. This has been a good year for Rebecca. Congratulations. How was the baby doing?
Oh, awesome.
Good.
She's awesome.
Yep. What's her name? Bailey?
Bailey, yep.
All right, Bailey. The newest Newburyport Clipper. Very cool. Yep. Good luck to the girls basketball squad tomorrow, right, boys? Is it tomorrow? Yep. Tomorrow they play? Okay. And your sister? Tell your sister good luck.
All right,
there you go, Trevor. Trevor Ward. Your sister's name is?
Good luck, McKenna. McKenna.
There you go. See, now it's documented. Jacob Robertson, thank you. Parker McLaren, 1,000-point scorer. Congratulations on a great career, man. Thank you. And congratulations on a great season. Newburyport Clippers. See you Thursday, everybody.